Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. We should have a good one on tap here today. It's the Cowboys coming in at 8-6, going up against the Lions, who come in at 7-7. So, with the call of this Week 16 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Tonight, we've got one last present under the tree, our final Monday Nighter of the year, between the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in playing pretty well, 6-3 in their last 9 games.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 8th-year quarterback from the University of Georgia. It's Matthew Stafford.
Another Texas quarterback. And there's something about these guys. They take a lot of pride in competing amongst themselves about who is going to be the one who puts up big numbers, lead their team to victories. And Matthew Stafford has always put up the big numbers. Now he's looking for success in the regular season and, of course, getting to the playoffs.
Defense showing blitz. The second-year man from Nebraska, it's Amir Abdullah. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. All right, let's get a peek at these starters here in the Golden Child. Golden Tate.
Love his versatility because you can use him anywhere in your offense. And he's an excellent kick returner. Loves to play the game, plays with passion.
A second down run for Abdullah. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
When at his best, Orlando Scandrick is one of the top nickel cornerbacks in the NFL.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. The veteran Andre Roberts was the intended target, and it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Martin to punt it away for Detroit. This is taken at the 18. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott. They run with a rookie. Here's Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So let's take a look here at the key inactives. And, Charles, I guess you get this late in the year, you expect to see some guys populating on this list.
You're exactly right. No one's happy about it, but it really shouldn't be a surprise. So the guys who are playing in their spots, in their stead, they have to step up now and make big plays for their team.
On second down, Elliott. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah. Okay, starting lineup time offensively, Charles, for the Dallas Cowboys.
And how about them at number 4 in the 2016 draft? Big needs on the defensive line, and they go with the running back.
They go star power.
They went star power, but Ezekiel Elliott, in a lot of ways, was exactly the right decision. When they had winning success in 2014, they did it running the football. Elliott can do that for them again. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Jason Witten, the intended target. And that brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. So the Cowboys will punt it on 4th down. As on is the veteran Chris Jones to kick it away. This is taken at about the 14. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, and see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
And it's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, I'll worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to is a key to success in the NFL, and Detroit struggled doing that.
Stafford gives to Abdullah on the draw. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. It's brought in by Bolden. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
They come up in an offset eye. From the 50, Stafford. And the reception made over the middle. This is Bolden. Give him 18 on that one. And it'll be first down, Lions.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On first down, Abdullah. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They go with Abdullah again. Might have have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he connects with Ebron. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. They'll come out in the pistol. Again, it's Abdullah. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, there's no doubt the defense has to be excited after stacking up back-to-back running plays. But I still remember my old coaches saying, after you've had some success, you better be careful. They might have an answer for you. So make sure you watch your keys, play your techniques, and don't get overconfident.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. 3rd and long, it's Stafford. Surveying the field. He's going to go up top for the end zone. That one intended for Anquan Bolden, and it's 4th down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Here we go.
Prescott on 1st down. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And now the Lions defensive starters.
Glover Quinn entered the league as a cornerback, but has evolved into one of the best free safeties in the NFL.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Come on, let's go! Ohio!
On the counter, Elliott trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
3rd down now following the run.
Here we go! Brand 38!
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 15. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Second down, just 1 yard to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. One quarter down here on a frigid December night. 3-0 is our score. The NFL on EA Sports continues right after this message.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now the defense definitely showing blitz here. They go back to Abdullah on 1st. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. Another pistol look here. Shift together here from the D-line. Stafford gives to Abdullah. And some room to roam now. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Stafford on 1st down. And Bolden brings it in, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Second and 5. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And Tate's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And now a first down following that long gain. And the D looking like they may blitz. On first down at Stafford. That is incomplete.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. Following the penalty, Abdullah. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Here's Stafford now on second down. Ebron with it over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. 23 yards on the play.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Now Stafford hands to Abdullah. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. On second down, here's Stafford. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's fourth down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
And here comes the Lions defensive unit. They trot back out onto the field. They're hoping to do what they did last time, force another punt. Last time it resulted in a field goal. We'll see if they can get another stop here, though.
And the best defenses are in the business of preventing points and creating points. And that's exactly what these guys did on their last possession. Why? Because they got off the field on 3 and out, turned the ball over to their offense after the punt, and let them roll downfield and put the ball through the post for a field goal.
Flex round. Here we go. 1, 9,
They start on the ground with Elliott, and he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
come on, let's go.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
9 yards to go. It's 3rd down.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll look to set up his blockers. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. And now back onto the field, here comes the Cowboys defense. And they did well down near the goal line last time, forcing him to settle for a short field goal.
And in today's day and age, settling for a field goal of that distance is amazing. You can get 3 points now, where it's going to give you only 1 point for the extra point, which would be a little bit longer. But they have to feel fantastic about only giving up 3 in that situation. It could have been so much worse.
Yeah, it could have. Now can they carry that over? Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Randy Gregory in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's got time in the pocket. Wide open receiver complete. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
So the offense needing 4 yards. It's 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. Caught right side, Tate. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Here comes the D swarming to the line. From the 50, Stafford. Ebron's got it. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 5. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. Under pressure, he's going to go down. Look at this, way back around the 43. Randy Gregory in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Detroit defense, we get set to watch them go. Their stay on the field last time was short-lived with a 3-and-out. See if they can get some more of that.
And ordinarily, you want to be on the field playing, right? But 3-and-outs, that's almost gold to a defense. Get to the bench, get some rest, turn the ball over to your offense.
We'll see what they can do here. See if they can force another 3-and-out. They'll come out in the pistol. A 1st down throw for Prescott. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. A great read, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Holding. Defense. That penalty is declined.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. And he's got it to make it now 13-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive. 2nd down, Prescott.
got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
Prescott on 1st down. This is caught by Williams. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 37. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Cowboys secondary has done a good job to slow down the passing game so far. The Lions had a lot of success throwing the football last week, but the same throwing lanes haven't been there. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Continuing on the drive, Gregory's going to push his way to the QB here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. Now to late in the first half, Williams able to get open here, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 48-yard line. So that'll do it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We're going back under the lights for the second half of this Monday night matchup.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. And a great spot to start this drive from here. And they're definitely showing blitz here. Second half starts with a run by Abdullah. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now a give. This is Abdullah. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball. It doesn't work running the ball. And then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure that just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. It's brought in by Bolden. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit. And sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche, but did you see the free safety on that play? Knifing through and running down the ball carrier. A huge, huge play. And when you have a free safety who can run like that, you've got to turn him loose.
Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. They tried the fade there to the back corner, and Charles, you know very well that can be hard to stay in bounds on that route.
So difficult because you have to start the route to give yourself enough space to actually fade away from the defender and stay in bounds. Just as you described, if the defender's able to take away that little bit of cushion, it's often hard to come down inbounds with the ball and complete the play.
To throw, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Andre Roberts, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now Prater to add the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
Let's go. 1-9.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Let's go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
First down, Prescott. And he whips that one incomplete there. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Brad 38.
A second down throw for Prescott. Going right side, he has Witten. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. A first down throw for Prescott. It's caught by Bryant. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. 13 yards down to the 13.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So they're operating in the red zone. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Looking to throw. Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
Flex round. Flex round. Come on, let's go. What?
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. Oh, hit as he throws there. Incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Now they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down.
Come on, let's go.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that will be incomplete as well. Lance Dunbar is running back, the intended target. And 4th down coming up. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will close the gap down to 14. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And they begin the drive with Abdullah. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Play fake to Abdullah. It's Stafford. He's got time. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. It's up and good, a 7-point margin. It's 20-13 now. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And the Cowboys defense, they march back out onto the field. They're trailing on the scoreboard. Now, they had to watch that last drive, then they come out here. Defensively, when you played, did you like being out there defensively to start the second half or wait to drive?
I wanted to be out there right away. Come out of the locker room, get right back into the flow of the game, because sometimes when you sat around, you liked it when your offense gave you a long drive, but it made it a little bit tougher to get out on the field.
Well, it's the second drive here. We'll see how they respond. Here's Stafford. Caught right side, Tate. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Ebron with it over the middle.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now Stafford. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
He's going to look deep down the field. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased, and they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7.
Here we go. 1, 9.
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
2nd down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Roberts with it over the middle. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. One quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Now Stafford, and he connects with Ebron. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
They go play action here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Ebron's got it. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, He'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down.
We know all the receivers go through those tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down inbounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air and they catch the ball. You ever notice how they're reaching back with their feet? Not just straight down, but back, because they're trying to create enough distance to make sure their feet are in bounds. They weren't able to get it done on that one, though.
So that's a big one there. It's his 3rd field goal of the game, and a 2-score lead's got to feel pretty good right about now.
And while they're not free and clear yet, you're right. Now this defense can go out knowing that it's going to take more than one big play to catch them.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. No matter how you evaluate quarterbacks, at some point arm strength is going to come into the conversation. I'm really impressed by what I saw on that throw on the out route.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Prescott, and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game, and boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Second down here after the incomplete pass.
Let's go.
The play clock's running down. On 2nd down, Prescott again. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Ebron with it over the middle. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They come up in an offset eye. A handoff to Abdullah. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here's Stafford now on second down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They go back to the air here after the INT. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And the Cowboys are going to get a first down. A good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And this one's incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And that'll bring up second down. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down.
Flex round.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. Going right side. He has Witten. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Prescott on first down. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Now it's 2nd and 7. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Prescott now from the 50. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. To throw is Prescott. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. From the pistol, they'll run with Abdullah. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Fielded at the 20. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base.
Let's go! 190!
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. So that right there was his 2nd pick, but keep in mind, this is a guy who once had a rare 3-interception game in his career.
So what are you saying, that getting 2 in a game, that's like kid stuff for him? That's nothing. He's already done that, right? Been there, done that. You know he wants a 3rd again.
They start the drive with Abdullah. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Lions, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night, everybody.